are now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football with your host, Autumn Wind Williams.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is the first preseason game of the year, Hall of Fame week. I'm talking about the Bears, the Chicago Bears, going against the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, and I decided to make a video. I know how it was when I first started DFS. And, I tuned into a lot of Facebook and YouTube videos and stuff that was on Twitter. And, people didn't want to share, who their picks were for preseason, because it is crucial when you're picking fantasy players for DFS during preseason, because a lot of the stars aren't going to be playing. And if you're new to DFS, you're going to pick everybody's favorite on each team. So that's why I decided to make a quick video for you guys while you're trying to scrounge up who you're going to play in your lineups for this game today, the Hall of Fame game against the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens. Both of them are honoring Hall of Fame inductees, Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis. So this is important for these two teams to go out there and make a big impact on the field. You're going to see a lot of second string, third string players. Like I said before, you may not see that much of, if any, of your favorite athletes on each team, or veterans on each team that normally start each regular season game. So, I'm going to just give you a little bit of information on what I'm putting on my lineups. I'm playing a little bit of DFS on DraftKings and also FanDuel. Those are the main sites I mainly do any lineups. I never did Best Ball. I never did Yahoo. I did some other ones in the past, but I don't think I should even mention them. But, it's mainly FanDuel and DraftKings that I do my lineups on. So, yeah, I'm going to go through these right now and check out to see what information I can give you on FanDuel as far as who I'm considering picking right now. Let's see if we can pull up a lineup for the NFL Hall of Fame game. There we go. Click the edit. See, I can't give you my actual lineups because I don't want FanDuel and DraftKings contacting me like, hey, what's up, bruh? Why are you giving up your exact lineups and you're winning and 10,000 other people are winning? Say if I do win the game, the contest, it's going to look suspicious. So I'll give you guys a little bit of what I'm considering, some that I entered already. And before I do that, check this out.
Before you hit that like button, there is something you need to know.
As I said at first, when you're playing preseason, especially the Hall of Fame game, you're not going to see a lot of the starters, the superstars. And I know one person in particular guys are going to be wanting to put in their lineups if they played DFS the past 2 years. And that is running back from Chicago Bears, Jordan Howard. I do not expect Jordan Howard to do anything on the field if he even touched the field. So before you hit that lock button, that is something you need to know. Jordan Howard is not going to get you a whole lot of fantasy points unless, say, he get a couple touches and just break away and run all the way to the end zone. And then, yeah, I'm wrong. But I'm looking at everything from a realistic standpoint. For a Hall of Fame game, I am not expecting their starting running back to go out there and gain a lot of fantasy points or real life points for you today. And because why would the Chicago Bears want to risk Jordan Howard? Maybe Tariq Cohen. Maybe Tariq. So I'll give you that pick right there. Tariq Cohen, he is a backup for Jordan Howard. They're trying to move him around in different positions, play a little bit of slot, and might even do a little wildcat here and there. They got some little tricks. Both Baltimore Ravens and the Chicago Bears are working on some offseason tricks to throw off defensive opponents for the year of 2018. So you might see a little bit of Tariq Cohen action. One guy in particular, I'm curious to see what he does this season, is the wide receiver Taylor Gabriel with the Chicago Bears. Now, this guy has speed. I believe it was the Cincinnati Bengals that he played for, and he made a big impact on the field. He's very powerful wide receiver. He can make a lot of plays. He's a playmaker, and I can see him also kick returning or punt returning for a touchdown. And that's going to bring me into talking about maybe using the Chicago Bears defense, because I'll see what I like to do. I like to find a wide receiver or running back that's also going to do a kickoff return, or and go in for a touchdown. Something like maybe what's the guy's name from Kansas City Chiefs? Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. I can't even think of his name right now. The off-season throws you off. You forget certain players' names. That's why I've been busy doing a lot of research before the season start, because I want to be prepared for you guys on who I recommend that you pick. That's the guy's name, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a kickoff returner and wide receiver, and you guys already seen him, I'm sure, kick off and make a touchdown. And if you played DFS and also played the Chiefs defense, you saw the big impact that it make, where you get the double dip in the points. You're not only getting it for wide receiver, but you're also getting it for defense special teams. So, on FanDuel, they're not allowing us to play defense on these tournaments. And so what I'm doing on DraftKings is playing some Tyler Gabriel and maybe the Chicago Bears with them. Okay, let's think of something else to let you know about. You might want to consider. Let me see. Kevin White. Yeah, I'm giving you another Chicago Bear. Kevin White. This wide receiver, since he's been drafted, he's been injury prone. Some people call him a bust, but when a guy just happened to get injuries out of nowhere, you can't really call him a bust. This guy, he can do it all if he can stay healthy, and I think that's the reason why he's going to get a lot of playing time on the field. He's considered a starter for the Chicago Bears right now, but I'm sure they got their eye on him. They want to use him on the field during the preseason to see if he can stay healthy, for one, and if he can actually make an impact in the game. So you might want to check out Kevin White. All right, let me give you a Baltimore Raven. We already know, bottom line, Lamar Jackson is chalk. #1 draft pick for the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, quarterback. He's he's listed as third string right now. And we know Joe Flacco is the starter. He's not playing. So I think you already know who I'm recommending you to take a look at, and that's RG3, Robert Griffin III. Now, he's been from team to team, man. And, it is really disappointing when you look at Robert Griffin, RG3, I like to call him, his career. When he was with the Washington Redskins, I believe they were in the playoffs, and he was playing injured. He looked like a dead dog, and the coach was basically beating the dead dog. He wouldn't let him out the game. And I'm like, why won't he let somebody come in and cover for this guy? They could have possibly won if they, for one, didn't start him that day. They were being hard-headed. And they got him out there, got injured even more. And since then, his career just took a downfall. The guy was amazing back then. And, he's trying to get back healthy and become a elite quarterback, hopefully. But, it's a slim chance, especially when he got the competition of Lamar Jackson. But right now, he is taking Lamar Jackson under his wing and pretty much coaching him on what to do, what not to do, how to execute this play, or what is he lacking on that he can possibly improve. So he's playing as a big brother role model right now for the Baltimore Ravens quarterback court for Lamar Jackson. But right now, he is also trying to at least get that backup position. If it was up to him, he would prefer that Lamar Jackson sat out the whole year, and if Joe Flacco ended up injured, he would be able to take over that starting role. So I'm expecting Robert Griffin III is how they got him listed, but it should be RG3. He's gonna be, they'll put Ocho Cinco out there if he still played, but nah, it's RG3. I'm expecting him to go out there and get some minutes, at least 2 quarters before Lamar Jackson come in. I wouldn't be surprised if Robert Griffin, RG3, started the game and then Lamar Jackson took over the second half. So, Lamar Jackson's chalk, but think of RG3. That may be your alternative, and it may help you win a tournament. All right, let me go to DraftKings. See what we can pull up on DraftKings. I done gave you a lot of FanDuel. I want to give you some DraftKings. Like I said, Bears defense, because you can play defense on DraftKings. And one other thing I want to mention too with DraftKings, like they have where you can have a captain of the team, where you would get 1.5 extra points based on how much that captain role makes. So you're getting like an extra amount of points by picking whatever player that you put in that captain role. But the thing is, like, say, let me look for Robert RG3 again. See what he's listed. All right, see RG3 on DraftKings. If I want to put him in a captain role, he listed as $11,100. Now, say if I just put him in a regular flex position, what is he listed? $7,400. So be wise where you put the players, because it may cost you more. And just like you bankroll manage how much you put in DraftKings and FanDuel every week, you also got to bankroll manage how you play these type of lineups where DraftKings has a captain that give you 1.5 extra points for that player. So it's going to cost you based on where you put each player. But any other flex role, is just regular price. But when I'm thinking playing the Bears on DraftKings, I'm also thinking about playing the Ravens on defense in DraftKings as well. The reason why, they have a guy on the Ravens by the name of Mark Thompson. Now, what I'm hearing is they're trying to use Mark Thompson. He's a running back. They're trying to use him on kickoff returns. So, just like I was saying, Gabriel from the Bears can go for a touchdown. Never know about this guy. He's a rookie. We haven't seen much of him yet, unless we, check on YouTube, check some college tape, see what he's all about. But, based on what I've been reading on this guy and a little bit of research, I'm considering putting him in a lineup with the Baltimore Ravens defense. And also, they have a wide receiver by the name of Tim White. Tim White, he seems like a pretty good receiver. This is his second year, player out of Arizona State, and he was a standout last year until he got injured. You know, he had a thumb injury in last September, and so that kind of knocked him out of even being part of the 53-man roster. So he's getting a second chance to try to prove himself. If he can stay healthy, you know, sky's the limit. And I know you guys probably seeing a trend. You're talking about all these, if he can stay healthy players, and they've been injured. Why do you recommend that they get played? Why do you think we should put them in our lineup? It's simple. They're not really playing the starters. When you look at preseason, you got to look at who's going to get those extra minutes. When they get those extra minutes, they can happen just to fall in the end zone. They can happen to pick up a turnover on, when defense running in for a turnover, a fumble all the way to the end zone, or a pick six. It's a lot of guys on both defensive sides that's injured prone too, but anything can happen in the preseason, and these coaches, they trying to go all out, because I know some people say preseason don't matter. I always looked at preseason different, because you're going to figure out who's going to stand up and take over if a starter gets injured. And that's when it really comes important in DFS. You'll hear DFS consultants, sports analysts say all the time, this guy's going to be chalk. He was the handcuff for this running back, or this wide receiver, or quarterback's going to be chalk this week because they did great in preseason. You have to remember a lot of this stuff in preseason. If not, you're just going to be chasing chalk that don't need to be chased by everybody else. Someone's going to assume a guy's chalk just because they're second and a third string, but they probably sucked at preseason. They probably got picked up again after getting cut last year because they sucked at preseason. So you really have to do an eyeball test in preseason. That's the most important time, I feel, to eyeball test all of these rookies, all of these second chance veterans, these injury prone players that have potential to come back and be something in their career. So be mindful when you paying attention to preseason games. Some people say it's boring and I'm not wasting my time watching preseason game with a bunch of rookies and has-beens. And if you're trying to play DFS and you want to be up in the game, you're going to pay attention and enjoy it, because you got to be taking notes. Which guy's going to actually make a shine in your lineups? All right, let me see if I can give you one more before I let go and get ready for this game. All right, let's see. It was another one I wanted to tell you guys about. There he is, Chase Daniels. All right, like we were saying, we may not see Flacco. We're likely to only see RG3 and Lamar Jackson. When you look on the Bears side, you're going to probably see two quarterbacks as well, second string and third string. Main guy I'm paying attention to is Chase Daniels. Chase Daniels got potential to work with this offense a lot better than I feel they have with the other quarterback by the name of Tyler Bray. Tyler Bray is okay, but I kind of feel like Chase Daniels is the way to go. I'm just throwing that out there. I haven't followed neither one of their careers, but what I've been reading up on and watching a little bit of tape, I think Chase Daniels, he can possibly win his game if the Bears win. I don't know who's going to win, but I think I got to side with the Bears. You guys probably knew that from the beginning. You know, I'm not a Bears fan. That's my team. Yep, that's how I got the name Autumn Wynn Williams, because I'm a former season ticket holder for the Oakland Raiders. But after they made their decision in the NFL to move to Las Vegas, I became a disgruntled NFL fan, and that's why I canceled my season tickets and I just kick back and enjoy football at home, watch the games, play some DFS, hopefully make some money off the NFL instead of them making money off of me, is what I've been telling people. So yeah, that's how I'm going to end this video. You guys enjoy the game. Make you some nachos, some barbecue or whatever. Get your notepad out or chalkboard or on your laptop. Make some notes on who you think is hot in this game, because you might end up using them later in your lineups for 2018 DFS football. So, until then, I'll holler at you later, and just win, baby.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 411 Podcast. Now get ready to make that money. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the 411 DFS.